So we're going to do tentacle flaps today on an octopus. So we're going to start with the slip stitch. I'm using red so it kind of shows up on the camera better. Other than that, you use your color. I'm also using a 4mm needle just for an example showing you. I can't remember what the pattern calls for. But after you slip stitch, we're going to chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and looking pretty. And the next thing says to chain into the second stitch from your first, or from the end here. So not this stitch. It's right here on the hook, but this one. No. Sorry. Not that one. This one. That way you have 1, 2, 3 left on the end. So the second from the end. 1, 2, 3. So it'd be your 4th stitch. And you're gonna single crochet into that stitch. So it'd be the 4th stitch, and then you have the 3 left. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to crochet into those 3 as well. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. So now you have this little piece that looks like this. And you have 4 stitches across the top. And these across the back, and then this one here, this little itty bitty hook here, this little, not hook but loop right here on the end is what they call or referring to as the turning chain, and you're going to need to know that for the next part. Now part 2, oh yeah, we're going to chain 1 on the end, so you have an extra loop. Now it says to turn over, but when we would do this, we're going to literally just flip the piece over. And I think that's the part that gets confusing because they say turn, they don't say flip the piece over. So we're going to be working in the back of whatever we just did. Now this first stitch here, it's going to ask for 2 crochets into that single stitch. Yeah, 1, 2. Like so, in that first stitch. So we still have 1, 2, 3 plus the turning stitch. So this is row 2 that we just started. 2 single crochet stitches, and then it wants 3 single crochets in the next 3, like this. So there's 3 left there. There we go. 1, 2. And both loops, not just the back loops. You want to go through both the 2 loops. This is 2 and this is 3. And once I get that other loop in there, all right. Now see this little itty bitty piece we were talking about earlier, this little itty bitty flap, that turning chain flap. That's where this is going to come in handy because we're here, we're at the, sorry, bear with me, 2 single crochets, then we did the 3 stitch. Now it wants you to single crochet in the first turning chain, so that is this very top 1 looper. So we're going to single grab it like this, should only have 1 loop on there, see, and then we're going to put the single crochet in there. Now this gets confusing, but from right here we're going to chain 5 again. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have this little piece down here, and we have these 5 chains. So we are here on the item, chain 5. And now it wants you to go back again. See, we're doing 1, 2, and we want you to go back again, and not this stitch, but this stitch. That way you have 3 left over. Or is it 4? 3 chains left over. All right. So then we'll go back here. 1, 2, and chain there. See, we're working on the back of that 5 chain here. 2, 3, 'Okay, I'm going to do that part again. Here's this part. We're back to the 5. So we're going to skip the first one, go into this one. Should leave us 3 loops, including the not including the turning chain. So 1 is the turning chain, 1, 2, 3. So we crochet right into the second one. 1, 2. And then the 3. 1, 2. 3. Alright. Now it wants us to chain. Remember that top turning chain we did? We're going to crochet right back into it. So we're going to go back into that same hole that we were in earlier to crochet the 1, and we're going to crochet another 1. So it looks like this. See, now you're getting this kind of a peak look, you know. So here's our first, second, and then this is the row we're working on now. My problem with the way this does is she doesn't tell you to work continuous from one side to the other before you turn. And then you end up just doing it, nothing back and forth on this side like that, and it doesn't work so much. So now we're right here on the pattern where it says to single crochet into the back of the second stitch, skip, and then single crochet 3 stitches, then 1 in the turning chain, and now we're here. We single crochet in the next 3 stitches, so that would be 1, 2, 3. We're going to leave this last one. This last one here gets 2 stitches before we turn. So here we go. 1, 2, and these ones here, since we're working in the original chain we did, it's only going to be one loop you grab, because there isn't a second one, because it's starting at that first chain. We're working on the very back side of it. So this is the last one here, and you're going to add 2 into that. Bear with me here. So I'm going to have to grab the loop just like that. And then 1, 2. And then again, chain 1. Okay, so now we've got this Star Trek symbol looking. I don't know if you watch Star Trek, the little V's on their chest. That's kind of reminds me of what this looks like at the moment. So, you know, your first one was here, and then he went here, and then this row is all the way around like this. So then we're going to chain 1, and then again, I know it says turn, but we're literally, just to do it, we're going to flip it over again, because again, we're going to be working on those back stitches all the way around. Now this is going to be the third one here that we're starting on. The 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 9 single crochet stitches in the next, and then 2 are single crochet in the second turning chain. Now the second turning chain again is this itty bitty little hoop up here at the top, the single one. Nobody usually uses it, but in this pattern as we are, so it can get confusing. So we're going to start off with 2 stitches in this last one we just made. Right there. If I can get it. We are going through 2 at this point. because we're not working on that first chain anymore. So 1, 2, gets a little tight, I'm using the thick yarn. Okay, so then it wants us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then there's going to be the next turning chain we're talking about. So now we're going to go single crochet the 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feel free, if you need to, you can back up my video, pause it, take screenshots, whatever you need to do. 6. You can leave me messages for improvement too, because this is my first video. 7. Sorry, I messed up that one. 8, 9. Alright, now see, that's the 9, and you're like, turn chain. Okay, so see, once again, this little itty bitty hook right here is going to be our turning chain, and we're going to grab that like we did last time, and we're going to single crochet into it again, like that. So that's number 10 stitch. Then it's going to have you do 5 stitches again, just like we did here to add this piece. So we're going to do another 5 single crochets again. 1, 2, not single crochets, chains, I'm sorry. 4, 5. Now see, we're going to skip the one on the hook, because we want 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go into that one, the 4th one, just like that. And then we're going to chain 3. So you see there's 1, 2, 3, and then this goes, we're going to chain after that back into this turning hook where we did this one. So 1, 2, sorry, 3. So there we are for, that's like this little piece here, single crochet, the back stitches, single crochet, and then the second turn, single crochet, and then 9 next stitches. All right, so we single crochet back into that second chain, so back into that little loop again, and then it wants us to do the rest of the 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure to grab both the loops on these. That's what I'm having trouble with right now. 6. 7, 8, 9. See, and then we have this last stitch here, number 9. We're going to put 2 single crochets in that one, just like we did on this side. If I can grab both my loops here. There we go. So 1, 2, all in that same hook. Then we're going to chain 1. Okay, so the last piece here, again, we're going to flip over and work on these back stitches. All right. Now it wants 2 in this first one again. And then it wants 15 single crochets. So that means we're going to go all the way up here and all the way back down there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, sorry, lost my crochet there, so start again. 7, 8, 9. Making sure to grab both those loops. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Once we get the 15 done, you should be at the turning stitch. 14 and then 15. So there's that turning stitch on the top here, the lovely little loop we keep talking about that normally usually we don't use in crochet, but in origami apparently we do. So we're going to grab that again and we're going to single crochet just 1 into it. Now we're not turning over, remember, now we're just going to work on this other side, so it's continuous from one side all the way to the other, and that's what the wording here does not like to tell me. It just tells me to turn, but it does not tell you to work continuous. So now we're going to put another 15 here in the 2 at the bottom. So these ones we're working in 1 loop because that's all that's there. 2, 3, sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then we're at 15 here. So we've got the last stitch here. Just double check that. All right, so we have that 15 done here, and that very last stitch right here on the corner on the end, we're going to put the final 2 crochet stitches into. It's a little difficult because it's kind of turned, so you got to make sure you grab both the loops. I don't like when it does this to me. There we go. Just there we go. So we got both loops on there. Looks like 3. So we got 1, 2, and then see, you just loop it, and then you can cut your yarn right there, and that is the rest of the for your sewing it on. You might want to leave a long thread because you're going to sew both the tentacles on this side. This is the front, the nice and pretty side. See, and see, there's where we started, this little one, and then it went up here and then down and then up and then down and then up and then down again. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment. I can do certain parts over for you again if you'd like. It's my first video, so I apologize if it was a little choppy. But this is the tentacle flaps, and you're going to make 8 of these, and they're going to attach to the long arms on the octopus. So that is these here that we just made on this octopus pattern. Alright, if you have any questions, leave me a comment, let me know, or you can go to my Facebook page, Spuds Creations, at spudscreations.com. No, it's not really .com, but it's Spuds Creations. Alright, I think I'm done with the video. Thank you for bearing with me on my first video.